You need to go there.
Okay, announcements. Plaid CTF is tomorrow. Everyone should come out. I think it's 2 days long, but we're gonna be going hard for this. So yeah, there'll be pizza too. Come to Plaid.
Another announcement for ECTF. If you guys are involved in ECTF, please show up to the meeting tomorrow. We're going to be working as a big team on the final poster. So even show up, even if you're in Team A for ECTF. This is for ECTF folks. Yes.
Okay. The flag is SIGPwny Malboge Supremacy, which I'll get into.
Oh God.
Yeah, you can read the XKCD. Yeah, this is just about isolangs. Dude, I'm forgetting the right pronunciation. Isolangs. Yeah. Give you guys a second to put that in.
Why is there something green on that side?
It's a logo.
Oh, I put it over the logo.
There's a blank slide.
Yeah.
You're supposed to read through the slides. Notice this.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to go through. What is an isolang? Examples, and maybe some identification. Okay, cool. So what is an isolang? It's like a computer science. It's basically just a really bad computer science joke. People would make a programming language because they have too much time on their hands. Yeah, it's a programming language with no practical purpose other than to be funny or to serve like a really novel purpose. So here's a couple you should know. The first one's called intercal, which stands for compiler language with no pronounceable acronym. That was made in the 1970s by someone who was really mad at COBOL. The most well-known one you've probably heard of is brainfuck. It just has those arrows and brackets and plus and minus. It's pretty cursed to read. It's sort of like a Turing tape. If you guys have taken 374, you can just add and subtract to a certain cell. And then another one you might have heard of is called the funge. This is a 2D programming language. So if you look at the example, you can follow the arrows to determine the control flow of the program. And then certain special characters on here will actually change the direction you're facing based on like an if statement. So there's quite a lot of isolangs. I went to the website and this is a screenshot of part of them. I think there's like over 100 variations of brainfuck. Yeah, the very important languages on here. Such as Arch is the best, a joke language that only prints Arch is the best regardless of the program. Pretty nice program. Yeah, I thought those were pretty funny. If you guys go to the website isolangs.org, you can kind of poke around. There's some pretty funny ones on there. Right. Two major types of programming languages. So there's a stack-based programming language. So a stack-based programming language will basically, you'll have values and it will push it onto a classic programming data structure, a stack. And whenever an operation is pushed onto the stack, it'll take the operation and then pop the operation as well as the other two values on the stack off and do some stuff with it. So most of the isolangs are stack-based, and that's just because it's really simple to implement. And most of these things are jokes, so people don't really want to spend the time to write a full programming language for this. And then the other kind is just a normal procedural language. There's a lot of different kinds of programming languages. Wish Hassan was here. But yeah, that exists too. Most of them are stack-based though, so that's cool to know. So here's a couple examples. Richard, do you want to run through the examples?
Yeah, I can run through these examples. So the first one we have here is white space, where the entirety of the characters that you can use are different white space characters. So you've got new lines, tabs, and spaces, and that make up
And line feeds and character turns.
Yes. Yeah, different new lines. And those make up the valid, I guess, characters in the program. So in this example, we've highlighted the different types of like tabs and spaces, so you can at least see them, but normally they'll just all be white space. You can see how this is quite cursed. But a lot of these languages are similar in concept, so if you understand one of them, you may be able to extrapolate and convert between them, depending on, you know, as Pete said earlier, what type of language they are. So for example, you might be able to convert between different stack-based languages, but it might be hard to convert between a stack-based and a procedural language. And this might be helpful if you have, say, a tool for running one type of language. For example, Brainfuck has a lot of interpreters, available, and debuggers. So if you can convert something to Brainfuck, that might make it easier to reverse. Malboj, I don't know how to pronounce that. This is also, this is like in its own category of how bad it is. It has this thing called a crazy operation that completely changes the instruction set. So you basically have the instructions changing as the program is running. So this is not only hard to reverse, but also very hard to program. So
Yeah, I thought it's interesting. The creator of the language never wrote a program in it. He just made it. He's like, no one will ever make a program. And someone finally wrote a program by like brute forcing the instruction set and how to write hello world in it. And that's the output, you know, a normal looking program, as you can see.
crazy.
Yeah, we'll link the slides and you can read that article if you want.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Piet or
Piet.
You wanna
Yes,
talk about
I can do this one. So we ran a challenge for UIUC TF this summer in Piet. So this is a programming language where they use the difference between two pixels as the operation code. And it's also like the funge on the other slides. It has two-dimensional control flow. Yeah, so as you can see, this is a hello world program, and they've traced what the execution path looks like in the black arrow. The black pixels can just change the direction. And then if you end in a state surrounded by all black pixels, it will end the program. Yeah, so our challenge for that one is we gave you an image and we actually overlaid a Piet program inside of the image. And the idea was that you had to solve 10 of these like Piet programs within a minute or two. And the solution here is to find a interpreter for Piet and trace the execution to figure out what the program is doing and then reverse the program from there. And that link is a good write-up of that challenge. But yeah, this one's pretty fun. They look like cool images at the end.
Okay. Shakespeare. Yeah, Shakespeare. I actually haven't read the slide. Yeah, all the it reads like a Shakespeare work. So that's the syntax. There's a lot of SO lines on this sort of variation where you keep the structure of some sort of programming language, but you mix up what characters define the syntax. So there's also this thing called Trump script, which reads like something that Trump would say. And this is well, similar idea, but for Shakespeare. So
Yeah.
And then hexagony. This is one of my favorite SO lines, and we actually have a challenge for this.
It's not up yet.
It's not up yet. It's we had some building issues, but hexagony, the grid is hexagonal, as the name implies, and the different characters control which direction your instruction pointer goes to. So it travels sort of along these grid cells, and then each character determines the operation that it does. There's actually a lot of good tools for debugging this. I have no idea why, but it's a really good.
If you look up like the code of Stack Exchange, I swear to God, like half of the solutions are in this bullshit.
Yeah, I guess it engulfs easily, or something. There's a really good debugger, which is the third link up there. You guys want to use that for solving the challenge. And there's also this tool that can draw this colorized graph of the control flow. So in this graph, each color represents one trail or one path that the instruction pointer can take. And the different colors or the colors change when there's a conditional, yeah, or at the start or end of the program. I think that's the last one.
Yeah.
Now some additional information.
Yes. I think I started writing this and then I realized I couldn't think of that much. The main thing is how to identify a language, and it's actually pretty hard. So really, I would just look up random operations in the code and the word SOLang, or go through like lists of popular SOLangs online. There's also apparently like an IRC chat. So maybe there's some self-pronounced experts in there. You could look. Yeah, ChatGPT might be able to help with this actually.
It depends on the language. Because it's better recognizing.
Yeah, the problem is there's like thousands of these things. So if someone chose something like they just made up like yesterday and put on the website, you know, it's pretty hard to track it down. But yes, I do have a challenge up for you guys. This is an Esolang. I want you guys to spend a couple minutes, look up a keyword in here and figure out what it's called. It's a meeting flag. So I'm gonna keep this up for a minute or two. Yeah, so I 1.3. So this does a program. I think it does FizzBuzz, or I don't remember. It does something. It does something.
I just getting the slides. I think it.
Probably just type this in to Google.
And then once we get the slides up, I'll go to the next slide. But yeah, if you ever run across a really bad CTF challenge, they'll probably give you a random Esolang and be like, please solve our challenge. And the first hour is just searching. So I thought I'd give you a little taste of the experience. Oh, you have to put it in Rev and then change it on CTFD. It's good for long-term maintaining.
Not documented.
What? It's documented on the main page. Did anyone get it, or is it like correct or wrong? Yeah. Do you have an answer? You can just say it, you know.
Well, it does apply.
Oh. All right. Yeah. Just did you like actually get it? Oh, all right. Okay. Cool. That works. Nice job. Yeah. Capitals do matter. Make it all uppercase. I think there's a way to make it case insensitive, actually.
No, this is like this, like the line is all undercase. Oh my god.
I think you can make the flag case insensitive too. Undercase. Too much math.
Is case sensitive in typo.
Should I
I built-
make it not be like
Okay.
Yeah, just don't make it case sensitive. That'd be great. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Huh?
Yes, I was gonna make a challenge. This language is just a really big regex, and I could not figure out how to create a good challenge with it. If we have time, there's a good 5-minute YouTube video about the language. That's pretty fun, so we can watch that. You know, that's in there. And that's it. Yeah, Plaid CTF. This Sunday, there's no meeting. Next Thursday, Sognick will be running block ciphers, so get hyped for that. Yeah, I kind of want to play the YouTube video. Good. My one note is that this
Camera's
guy
gone.
isn't that funny. The Esolang community does not have good comedians.
Also, the hexagony challenge is up. It's called Beehive. It's pretty hard, so don't waste your time. What?
Thought about their own.
It should make this.
No, I mean,
too hard.
you should still solve it, but. you know,
500 points.
Prioritize your studies. No, I spent way too much time writing this challenge. I don't want others to do my thing.
It just has a very annoying voice. I just don't prefer it. You could probably put it on like 1.5 times speed. You can probably skip to the end. That's the one. This is It's on the wiki. It's on the like official wiki for this language. Amazing. I don't know. It's like a resource. Yeah. Is it?